Thank you so much for being here in this live stream today. How to set a powerful intention. And I want to congratulate you, whether you're here or you're watching this in the replay, because by you showing up, you show that you are already ahead of most people in the world. You are making an effort to raise your level of awareness and consciousness. So thank you for being here. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Dieli Pichardo Johansson. I am a physician retired early, a life alignment coach, and a #1 Amazon best-selling author. And you will notice that I have an accent. Please don't let that worry you. Most people say that after a while, your ear gets adjusted to it, you start understanding me better, and then in the words of my beloved, very white American husband, then it just becomes endearing and a source of amusement. And my intention today is to leave you with a series of simple steps so you can create your own intention. But even more than that, it is to raise your awareness, to give you a taste of a different reality, of a different type of life. Because let's face it, no goal is going to make us happy for long. We are humans. Once we get a goal, we're going to move away and want another one, or we're going to find another reason to worry. However, every process of pursuing a goal can transform us into a different person. And that process of growth and self-actualization is why it's worth it, pursuing goals and dreams. An example of that is this beautiful location where we are here today. I'm setting this live stream from my backyard in sunny Florida, where we started the day with 55 degrees. That was outrageous for what we're used to. Everybody had their coats out and gloves and hats, because here if it goes below 70, we don't know what to do with ourselves. I would love it if you can type in the comments where you're coming from and where are you watching this video from, your state, and if you give me a little comment of how the weather is there, even better. So once upon a time, I set a clear, wholehearted intention that I was moving to Florida from the brutal Midwest winters where I used to live when I was in training at Northwestern, for example. And that wholehearted intention drove me through the difficult moments. And because, yes, the first objection I hear when I talk about how important intentions are is people who say, oh, intentions are useless unless you do hard work. Oh, absolutely yes, hard work is important. However, I bet you, I guarantee you that if you ever set a goal or an intention and then you fail to take action, that means that you were half-hearted about it. That means that you didn't have a strong sense of commitment and connection to that goal. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. The first thing I want to mention is that an intention and a goal are not the same thing. Some of my clients are surprised to hear this. Some already know it. A goal is a practical, concrete, measurable thing you want to obtain that has a time stamp on it. For example, my goal is to make $1 million by the end of the year. However, the intention is deeper, and it's something I always want you to set before setting the goal. The intention is, why do you want this? How do you want to feel when you achieve this? For example, why do you want to make $1 million by the end of the year? I want financial freedom. I want peace of mind. I want to feel safe and secure and provide for my family. I want to enjoy life, and I want to be generous with others. That is more powerful than any goal. And we need to know it before we set any goal. Because what happens when we go too committed to a goal without being clear in our intention? What happened to the person who says, I'm going to make $1 million, that's my goal? What is going to happen if this starts robbing away your freedom? The typical example, being in a job you hate. In theory, that job was going to bring you financial abundance. That new business was going to bring you the $1 million. But you wanted the $1 million because you wanted peace of mind and freedom. And this job is stealing away your freedom, stealing away your peace of mind, your joy of living. You get the point. When we find out that something contradicts a goal contradicts our intention, it's time to revisit the goal. So that is why it's so important to differentiate between the two of them. And why do we want to set an intention the way I'm encouraging you to do it? First of all, because it's going to improve your chances of success dramatically. What happens when we set an intention but there is a contradiction? There we are going to be split. Our energy is not going to be focused. We may, in the best case scenario, we may not take action. In the worst case scenario, we will take the wrong action and sabotage ourselves. And there's 3 types of contradictions that I want to warn you about. The first one is when our goal or our intention contradicts another need, another priority in our lives. For example, let's use the example, I want to lose weight. I want to lose 10 pounds by April. What happens if there's another little voice inside you saying, but the only joy I have in my life is my sweets. I'm working super hard, I'm super stressed out, I'm going through a lot right now, and my only joy and the only moment of the day when I give myself some love is when I'm having my sweets. There is going to be a huge contradiction that is going to send the message. If I exercise, I'm not loving myself. If I eat healthy, I'm depriving myself. I'm not giving myself what I really need. So that's the first contradiction to watch for. The second one is when your intention can contradict a value. I want to lose weight, but a part of me thinks that caring too much about my appearance is vain. I don't like to feel that I am superficial. I want to think that the only thing important is what's in the inside. That also is going to contradict our efforts. And the third one, and most important of all, is when the goal contradicts your identity. The example in this case would be, I want to lose weight, but I don't want to be a skinny bitch. I am the happy, curvaceous, glorious goddess, beautiful. I don't want to lose weight and be like the skinny bitches. Or, like in my case, before I became a gym rat, I'm very proud of being a gym rat now for a couple of years. I'm a nerd. I'm an intellectual. I am not a joke. I am not a person who exercises. By you going through this process with me, you will be uncovering some of these, because just by uncovering them, you are in advantage by bringing them to awareness. So, I promise you, my promise to you is that by the time you go through this process with me, you're going to first, like I said, maximize your chances of success by avoiding all this split energy. Number 2, equally important, you're going to minimize your chances of unhappy success. Because there's nothing worse than getting a goal and realizing I have been working so hard climbing this mountain and it was the wrong mountain. By knowing not only what you want, but also why you want it, you are maximizing your chances of tweaking the process as you go to make sure that when you get there is what you wanted. So, the last reason why I want you to pay a lot of attention today, not only this process will help you maximize your chances of success and minimize your chances of unhappy success, this process is going to maximize your chances of being happy now. When we know what we want, but also know why we want it, we can pay attention to other resources in our lives that can lead us to those feelings. You don't necessarily have to wait to achieve the goal to get what you want in your life. And that being happy wherever you are, that's one of my favorite topics. Wherever you go, you bring yourself with you. I tell my clients, and one of my favorite sayings by Marie Forleo, the fastest way to the life you want is to show up fully to the life you have now. So that is something that I would love to talk more about. If you need more help on that, type happy now in the boxes and we'll plan a live stream, or I will dig some resources and that can help you with that, with being happy now before you get your goal. Okay, so without further ado, here are the 5 steps that you are going to be taking in order to write a powerful, wholehearted intention that leaves no room for second guessing and wasted energy, and guarantees or increases your chances of success. Ready? Step number 1 is relatively easy. What do you want? And I say that kind of ironically, it's not that easy. A big number of my clients come to see me precisely because they say, "Diely, I don't know what I want." The majority of those cases is not true. We know what you want, but we don't dare to say it. We believe it is impossible. Why do I even bother? We believe that to get it, we have to give up something else. So absolutely, if you are right now saying, I know what I want, but it's impossible, suspend your disbelief for a moment. We will tackle that a little later. And just say, best case scenario, if I could have it my way, without figuring out the how, what do I want? If you happen to have a goal right now, feel free to type it in the comment boxes. Even if you're watching this in the live stream, it will help you commit to it. So that is the relatively easy step. What do I want? Step number 2. Why do you want it? I want you now to get deeper. I want you to ask yourself, why do I want this? How do I want to feel when I get this? And I want you to dare to take this several levels deep. For example, the example we said earlier, I want to lose weight. Why? For someone can be because I need to be healthier. Losing weight is going to help me get my H1C under control, my diabetes or high blood pressure, or I know that I need to be healthier, in a healthier BMI. For someone else, maybe I want to lose weight because I want to look good in my bathing suit for spring break, or I want to feel proud of what I see in the mirror. Find out why do you want this, and once you have it, describe it, go deeper and tell me why. How do you want to feel when you obtain that? I want to lose the weight because I want to feel energetic, vibrant. I want to feel full of hope for the future. I want to lose weight because I want to look good in my clothes. I want to feel proud of myself. I want to feel that I love what I see in the mirror. Just by taking this step, you are already in advantage in comparison to most people. Because once you know that, you can ask yourself, how can I start doing that now? Perhaps to feel happy with what I see in the mirror, I can start by getting myself clothes that fit or having a haircut. Let's start now by doing this. Also, it will prevent you to get so lost in the goal that you deprive yourself from what you really wanted in the beginning. If what you wanted was to feel healthy and energetic, and you're in a diet that is making you have a low blood sugar and be cranky and miserable all the time, that is contradicting your goal. It has to be revisited. If your exercise program or your diet is making you hate yourself and be completely in a bad mood, being a biatch to everybody, then you are not really going to be proud of what you see in the mirror. So knowing not only what you want, but also why you want it is crucial to write a wholehearted intention. So step number 1, what do you want? Step number 2, why do you want it? And go deep even one more level. How do you want to feel once you obtain it? Okay? So far, not that hard, right? I encourage you to get yourself a journal and elaborate. I always have beautiful journals around. This one is even kind of matches my outfit because I believe that everything you own should make you smile. Next step. The next step is a little trickier, but it's very important. Perhaps when you started writing this intention, you already heard the contradictions. But I don't want this, or this is impossible. Why do I even want? And this is the moment to bring them on. But perhaps not. And to get them out and to clarify more of what's holding you back, I want you to answer this question, and this is going to be step 3. I do not want this because. And you may say, wait, I do want it. But humor me. Imagine that you don't want it and answer the question. I don't want this because. In the example of the weight loss, we already mentioned something. I don't want this because then I have to deprive myself from the only joy in my life, which is my sweets. But there are deeper things than that I encourage you to explore. My biggest example of that is finding love. In my own experience and the experience of some of my clients, I used to say, I want a romantic partner in my life because I want companionship and joy and connection and feeling that I belong with someone. But I don't want it because I don't want someone controlling me. I don't want someone that is going to be giving his opinion about everything I do. I don't want someone who's pathologically jealous like my ex. I don't want someone who's messing up the house and I have to clean up behind themselves. All these things, I encourage you to put them in black and white. I don't want this because. What is your but? I want this, but I don't want that. Ready? I want you to take your time. Pause this if you're seeing this as a recording. Journal, take your time, and I want you to really take your time with this. So, step number 4 is going to get deeper. It's going to get really practical here. I want you to promise yourself that you are going to have A without B. What do I mean? A is steps 1 and 2, what you want and why you want it. But promise yourself that you are not going to compromise, that you will not allow B to happen. And trust yourself that that's true. For example, I want a loving partner in my life, so I can feel connected and loving, so I can feel I belong. And I promise myself I will have that without losing my freedom, without having someone controlling me, without having to walk in eggshells. So this process can take you a little while, but I want you to go deeper on all those objections and promise yourself that you're not going to allow that to happen. And before we go to the last step, I want to take a moment to stop and acknowledge that some of these objections are not going to be easy. Some objections are going to be depending on someone else, or we are afraid that they are going to affect someone else we love. My biggest example, when I had to make the decision to quit medicine, I knew exactly what I wanted and why I wanted it. I wanted a peace of mind, freedom, joy of living that this job wasn't giving me. However, I was afraid that I was going to compromise the financial safety of my family. I was afraid that I was going to hurt my children if I found myself unemployed. Some of these require reconnecting with your values, require going deeper and figuring out in what ways what you think is serving you is not. And very importantly, it requires differentiating what you want with what the world has told you that you are supposed to want. Reconnecting with your true voice and not with what the world is telling you. And I want to invite you to explore that more. If you want to talk more about that, type in the comments, let's talk. And let's talk about working with me one-on-one, or joining my upcoming group that is hopefully is going to start in March, and I'm very excited about this. It's the first time I'm going to have for this process a group that is going to be self-paced in a way. You can watch these videos in trainings, or you can be live and you can participate in questions and answers, and you can meet other people that can support each other. And that is the purpose of this group, is to fast forward your self-actualization. Because if we just continue living, by the time we are 90, we will have a lot of wisdom. But we don't have that much time. We may not have that much time. Take it from me, the cancer survivor. If there is anything you can do to speed up, to hit the speed up button, for your development, your personal development, your self-actualization, your spiritual growth, so the rest of your life ahead of you is more enjoyable, is more pleasant, is more in alignment with what your dreams, childhood dreams were, I recommend that you do it. I'm very excited about this group, and my favorite thing to do is one-on-one. I really love helping people go through all these objections, helping them reconnect with their true voice and their authentic desires, and then working on them. Okay, so ready for the last step? Step number 5 is that we're going to take this information that we had in step number 4, what we want and why we want it, and why we don't want it, and how we are not going to allow this to happen. And we're going to translate this to fully positive language in first person present tense. What do I mean? In personal development, there's a saying that the strongest, the most powerful words in the language are the words I am. When you declare something after the words I am, you are participating in the creative process of the universe. I am is the name of God. And when you say it, that's the spiritual explanation. When you say it as if it's already happening, you are reconnecting with your higher power. The psychological, scientific, nerd explanation for that is because when you say things in present tense and starting with I am, you are engaging your unconscious brain. Resources and neurological power that is unprecedented and way beyond what your conscious brain offers you. So this is what we do. If you write, I want to lose weight because I want to feel better about myself, but I don't want to deprive myself from sweets. You find a way to take away all the negative words. Deprive is a negative energy word. How can we translate that to positive? I am losing weight, feeling healthy, feeling powerful and joyful and proud of myself, and I am doing while allowing myself indulgences. The example of the love, I want a romantic partner, but I don't want someone who's controlling me and stealing my freedom and messing up my house. I am in a loving, committed relationship with someone who I love and respect, who sees me and values me, that we feel connected and are happy with each other. And that person respects my freedom and helps me in being myself. Do you see the difference? It immediately sends a different vibration, a different flavor, and makes you feel differently. So, summary of the steps. Step number 1, what do you want? Step number 2, why do you want it? And go deeper. How do you want to feel when you get that? Step number 3, what are your objections? Why don't you want it? Step number 4, promise yourself that you will have what you want without violating yourself, without renouncing what the other things that you want, without depriving yourself from the other thing that you want. Step number 5, convert it into a statement that is fully positive, present tense, starting with the words I am, and I invite you to translate any negative word there into a positive word that leaves you energized. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. I happen to have a printout of this, a PDF guide where I summarize these steps. If you want it, type the word guide in the comment box and I will send it your way. And at any point, if you want to talk, if you have any questions, type them in the comments, even if you are watching this as a replay, and I will get to them and we will figure out a way to answer them. I hope you enjoy this live stream and see you soon. Bye.